Oh, by the way, Mark Giuliano brought up the AI in the blockchain space, which I'm familiar with.
Yep.
So I focus that in the technology space. But he said there's a lot of millionaires coming. It would be created in that space as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a big sector.
ChatGPT 4 came out. I'm using that.
Yeah, dude, I'm just started playing with it. Spooky.
Yeah, I have it. But you know what's interesting?
What?
It's kind of woke. If you ever asked it a question, it'll give you its opinion. I'm like, I didn't ask you for your opinion outside of my question.
Yeah.
Answer my freaking question. And then I'll say, how has the feminist movement hurt masculine men? And then it's like, it'll give you this woke answer, and then it'll give you their thoughts.
Yeah.
And then it'll say, just so you know, it could be deemed offensive. And I'm like, I didn't ask for your opinion on this.
Right.
So every question I ask it always gives me
Where was
opinion.
it created?
Silicon Valley.
There you go. That's your answer.
So going in the red pill space,
yeah.
a successful high value man yourself, if you were in the open dating market and you were dating, what do you feel you and other high value men that you associate with, what do they look for in a woman? Because I have a lot of gals on the show, and I get this typical response. I just did a reel about the majority, the general rule, not the exception. There's always an exception in the rule.
Yeah, there's always exceptions.
Right? Like, but what are your thoughts on like, what are the key components you're looking for if you're as a multimillionaire, if you're on the market dating, what would you look for in a woman?
I mean, outside, of course, looks, and everyone has a bit of personal preference, whether they like some. I mean, you can't say this shit, but some people are looking for some race or whatever, or ethnicity or culture and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But it is, I would say the culture one's more. It's got a meld there and stuff. But at the end of the day, if you find someone that you really like, looks wise and everything beautiful, but then from there, it has a lot to do with like personality and just being agreeable.
Do you care so much about their money versus their support?
I do not give a single fuck about their money, like 0 fucking %. I actually find that to be a fucking detriment for if like it like it's a big, because basically I found this throughout my life with most women and stuff, and like this is the sort of thing, like when you're on the red pill, like you just talk to other people and then like we're all just like, here's my notes, and then everyone's notes about this certain, not everything agrees, but certain points it keeps like. Women think their money is their money, and they think your money is their money.
Right.
On everything, they get mad. Like and not all women, but like it happens. It's like why are you spending all this? Why are you spending all this money on all this dumb shit and shit? Because like to them, it's like you could be spending that money on on us. Or
Isn't that interesting? And that's
almost all of them.
Yes. And what I have said is what's the most money you've spent on a man from your money into them? They might get to $200 or $300, right? If that. And I said, like last night, we all went to dinner. I took my half brothers are in town.
Oh, cool.
We all went to Herbs and Rye. Have you ever been there?
Oh, yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
It was cold though, man. It was like AC's on. I'm like,
we'll go to Cleaver's next time. They also own Cleaver's.
Okay. Yeah, so I went in there, ordered food, and the bill came. I had them, right?
Yeah, of course.
And my bill, I guarantee you, my bill was more than any woman's ever spent on me on one item. And it's so they're like, oh, I bought a pair of shoes or bought it. And I, to be honest, I never asked for their money. I never needed their money. I never asked them to contribute. Right. So if I'm living with someone and the amount of money you're making or I'm making, I'm already paying for everything.
Yeah.
So I'm not interested in their money. I need compassion. I need empathy. I need somebody there for me to support me, to kind of push me and elevate, ascend, help me ascend. Right, like you say, right? The Citadel.
The Citadel, yeah.
That sounds like a novella. The Citadel.
Hola, traen tricolor.
That's when I go over to
Telemundo. Come on. No, but the thing is, like, now I don't want to be all like this sort of thing. Like in the red pill, a lot of guys are just like it's 100% this, but there always is shades of gray.
Absolutely,
there's always shades.
Absolutely.
I mean, I remember a time when I was I was homeless at one point. And stuff, and I lived out of a girlfriend's car.
Wow.
Yeah, for 4 months. Yeah, we both lived out of her car, out of a 2006 Dodge Charger red, like a red one.
But because she sacrificed for you,
yeah,
that shows so much loyalty.
Right.
So that's your ride or die, right?
Yeah.
We've both been there, man. It's like, man, this person, there was some times where, like I said, 2 weeks ago, the market hiccups, and I'm like, uh-oh. And then you just see your money going away, and that person doesn't freak out, and they're there for you. Hey, you'll turn it around. Hey,
Yeah.
you'll make that money again or whatever, right? Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about?
No, yeah, and that's when it has to do with like personality, and then also the respect level towards you. Like, if she respects you as a man to lead them and stuff.
That's all you want, right? As a man, you want respect, right?
You want respect. And this is what the one thing I tell to all my students and stuff. Anyone who asks, of course, they have to ask me. Like, if they're asking my advice, I will give it, right? But something I tell them is like, if your girl, like, I can only talk to the financial sense. If your girl doesn't trust you with the finances, get the fuck out of the relationship. Right after that, if she is like nitpicking you, why are you putting money into this? Why are you doing this? Why are you putting money? Why are you buying crypto? Why are you buying stocks? Why are you putting all the money into this real estate? Leave her right there, because it's only going to be more and more trouble. Because it's a team sport, and you've got one person rowing in the opposite direction.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
That boat's rocking.
Yeah, you have to have, like, every relationship that I've ever been, they've trusted me 1,000% with the finances, but that's a responsibility. But that's a responsibility I wanted. Right. And I've found success with that and stuff. And that's one of the biggest things I can tell people when it comes to now, you should if you really do care about the person, you're with the person for a long time, disclose things to them and stuff like that. But it is I do tell students sometimes, like, hey, when things are down, hey, just don't mention it.
Right. Like you're not as emotional as they are.
Right. Because what ends up happening with the women, what ends up happening is if you start telling them every single time you take an L, because it's going to happen. This is the life of hard knocks. Like, it's not always like rocket ships and green candles and shit. Sometimes it's like red. You're down in the dumps taking L's, man, and it's just you have to wait it out and stuff. You're on the ropes, just waiting,
bobbing and weaving.
You're
doing the Ollie shuffle.
Yeah, doing the Ollie shuffle. Yeah, waiting for them to tire out so you can start striking. You know, like and charging up like your cash flow into dry powder in order to like have an opportunity. A lot of times, like, as long as things just appear good and stuff, and I'm not saying outright lie. Like, if you guys are really you're going to lose the house, hey, you got to be for real,
right?
Versus like, oh, portfolio is down 50% in crypto. That's normal. Just FYI. No, in equities, that's holy shit.
No, I went down. My portfolio went down 75%.
Yeah.
And it was like, like, we're not taking that private plane this time.
But that's when you're really in the highest level of like equities, or you're in crypto and stuff, the volatility is insane. Like, this bull market, right? We had positions. I say this as like a joke sometimes, right? There's a coin, right? It's gonna be ridiculous. It's called like was it Rainbow Token or something like that? It's basically it's a video game token about it's a GameFi token and stuff. It's basically like a unicorn game thing or whatever, right? But some people were backing it as just a small position. I was like, I put 25,000 into it, right? Left it alone, was just yield farming it. The bull market ended. It crashed down, and it was just a smaller position. So I'll just write it out. I just keep dollar cost. I'll just keep earning the yield and growing it up. It went down almost 95%. So 25,000 turned into 2,000.
You didn't say anything.
No, I mean, well, it was a small position for me, but imagine, I just bring it up as an example. It hasn't died. It's actually came back now. The position's at 5,000 again, but it's the sort of thing where I'm trying to tell people, like, that's the level of volatility in this game, and you have to be ready for it and stuff. But the thing with big down means big up. That's
funny because the Super Bowl, I lost money.
Oh shoot! What'd you bet?
I took the Eagles, right?
Oh, no.
I put 2,000. You know what? I'm done with Kansas City. I lost money. I took Brady against them. I lost money. I took the Eagles.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I had my ticket out.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's like, "How much you bet? How much you bet? How much you bet?" She wanted to see the ticket. So she's like, "Oh, $2,000."
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever. I took a risk, but it affects them more from an emotional perspective.
Right.
When the money goes away, they just kind of have that setback, right?
Yeah.